Hi, everybody. Welcome to the latest episode of the SCU Show, our second simulcast. We're both audio and video, so whatever you watch, if you're watching us, you're listening to us, regardless, whatever you're doing, I do appreciate you tuning in to the latest episode of the SCU Show. I'm your host, SCU, and as you can tell, I'm wearing a Dallas Cowboys shirt. That'll become very important at the end of the show, so you want to stay tuned for that because I'm renouncing my Cowboys fandom. I'm no longer a Cowboys fan. I'm done with it. After 25 years of being a Cowboys fan, it's over, but we'll get to that later in the show. I want to start with the college football playoff because didn't get to do a show last week, Jude Pinkley, like I had hoped. But I do want to talk about the college football playoff. Clemson shut everybody up. Absolutely shut everybody up. They were doubted by everybody, including me. I definitely doubted Clemson. I said that Ohio State was going to blow them out. It was not going to be a close game. Yeah, they went to win the game. If you did not know, they went out to win the game 29-23. They defeated the number 2 ranked Ohio State, and we have an all-Tiger national championship game. But we'll talk about that next week. They were down 16-0. They had just turned the ball over on downs after Trevor Lawrence got sacked on a 4th down, and it all looked inevitable. It looked like, oh, this is it. It's over. It looked like Ohio State was going to roll with this game, like I said they were going to. They didn't. It was 16-0. Yes. But Trevor Lawrence led them all the way back, especially with that long touchdown run that he had by himself. That was like, the Ohio State defense absolutely had there was like no competition. But anyway, the point here is that Clemson deserved to win that game. Absolutely deserved to win that game. They have the better coach. I'm definitely picking Dabo Swinney over some guy named Ryan Day, who I haven't heard of since yesterday. They have the better quarterback. Trevor Lawrence is going to be the number 1 overall pick next year's draft, in 2021, that is, over Justin Fields, who will probably be sitting in the 3rd or 4th round, because who knows what he'll do next year. We all know Trevor Lawrence is going to do great next year. We don't know what to expect from Justin Fields. And obviously they had the better defense. Did you see that game winner for the Tigers? The receiver ran, I don't know his name, but the receiver ran through the defense like a hot knife through butter to get to the end zone. And then obviously the defense for Clemson won them the game. Obviously the receiver ran the wrong route, and they had a pick in the end zone to end the game. So, obviously, Clemson deserved to win that game. Better coach, better quarterback, better defense. They overcame a 16-0 deficit. That was all Clemson. They absolutely deserved to win that game. There's no doubt about it. All right, I want to switch gears to the LSU Oklahoma game. It's more important more the fact that everyone keeps talking about how more Big 12 in the college football playoff. It's crap. That's all crap. That's all it is. It's crap. Oklahoma every year, the last 3-4 years, has earned their way into the college football playoff during the regular season. It doesn't matter how they do. It's the fact that they earned their way into it. Oh, but they're 0-4. Okay, let's go to this. For year 1, they lost against Dabo Swinney and Deshaun Watson. Of course, you're going to get your A whooped when you're playing against Deshaun Watson and Dabo Swinney, 2 of the most talented guys in football. The next year, they went up against Georgia. They went to overtime. That was a close game. Oklahoma could have won that game, had the chance to win that game. They were in it. Last year, in the Orange Bowl, you played Nick Saban. You really think you're going to outdo Nick Saban in a college football playoff? No, you're not. Absolutely not. You're not going to. It's not going to happen. And this year, they played Joe Burrow, who was supposed to be the number 1 overall pick. Now he's going to go to Cincinnati. He threw 7 touchdowns in the first half. Nobody expected him to do that, but he did it. And that's why Oklahoma lost. They gave up 7 first half touchdowns to Joe Burrow, the number 1 overall pick of the 2020 NFL Draft. So let's stop with this. Enough of this whole thing about Oklahoma doesn't belong in the Big 12. It's crap. They absolutely deserved. They earned their way into the college football playoff. The fact that they couldn't win is just not their fault. Honestly, it's not their fault at all. It's just a whole bunch of bad luck. And that's just what it is when it comes to the Sooners. But they definitely deserve every time they get into the college football playoff. They'd have earned it. They definitely have deserved it. All right, let's switch gears to the NFL on that because I'm going to do something for the first time that I've never done ever. And people that know me personally, they're going to see this. They're going to listen to this. They're going to be like, they're going to be so shocked that I'm doing this. I'm giving respect. I'm giving the Carson Wentz the respect that he finally deserves. That he probably deserves the whole time. He's earned my respect. He has taken the Eagles with no receivers. Deshaun Jackson was out for the year. Nelson Aguilar went down. Zach Ertz is out. And what does Carson Wentz do? He leads his team to the NFC East title. That's incredible. First quarterback in NFL history to throw for 4,000 yards and not have a receiver record 500 receiving yards during the course of the season. How insane is that? So definitely have to give credit to Carson Wentz for doing that. First time ever I'm giving Carson Wentz any credit because as most people that know me personally, they know I don't want to say I'm anti Carson Wentz, but being a Cowboys fan, I do not like the Eagles, and the fact that people continue to talk about how Carson Wentz so much better than Dak Prescott, and it was just so annoying over the years. I'm giving Carson Wentz the credit. He got the Eagles to the NFC East title, but at the same time, did the Eagles really earn that NFC East title? No, they didn't. That was Dallas' division to lose, and they lost it. They were 3-0 to start. Against the Jets. I keep telling everybody this. Against the Jets, you got a 4th and 1. Instead of kicking the field goal, which would ultimately won the game for them, they ran with Dak Prescott, who ran backwards and got sacked for negative yards. The next play, -2 yards to Robbie Anderson. That's why the Cowboys lost that game, and they were 3-3 from 3-0 to 3-3. Obviously, not good. They were 6-4 after winning against Detroit. They had a chance to go 7-4 the next week. And they lose 4 of their next 5 games. They're 7-8. And all you need to do is have the Giants beat the Eagles, and obviously that wasn't going to happen. So literally, the Eagles did not earn the NFC. And I'm giving credit to Carson Wentz. That's fine. I'm fine with doing that. But I'm not giving any credit to the Philadelphia Eagles because they did not earn that division title. They did not earn it. The Cowboys literally spoon-fed it to them. The Cowboys were like, hey, you want this? I don't want this. And that's how it was for the whole season. But at the end of the day, that's what it was. What the Cowboys did. They were like, here, it's all yours. We don't want it. And by the way, that's why Jason Garrett is now officially fired, because that's what they did. That's why he got fired, because they gave the division to Philadelphia. If he had won the division, we wouldn't be sitting here right now talking about why he's not the coach anymore. He would still be the coach if Dallas had made the postseason. But I do want to give credit to Carson Wentz. Much credit to him. Congratulations to the Eagles, and good luck against Seattle. Speaking of Seattle, let's switch gears now. We're going to talk about this. Best 2 teams in each conference. The best team in the NFC, it's Seattle. They're the best team in the NFC right now. I know San Francisco's the 1 seed, and Green Bay's the 2 seed, and they're so exciting because they're 1 and 2. Actually, they're probably 2 of the worst teams in the NFC. Yeah, I'm crazy, right? San Francisco won what? They lost 2 games at the buzzer. The last 4 or 5 games that they played were at the buzzer. They lost to the Ravens at the buzzer. They beat the Saints at the buzzer. Lost to the Falcons at the buzzer. Barely beat the Seahawks at the buzzer. San Francisco's not going to be a great playoff team. Seattle's the best team. They can win anywhere, and I mean anywhere with Russell Wilson. And if they do beat the Eagles, and if the Saints do beat the Vikings, the Seahawks are going to San Francisco, where they are going to probably win the game. And if they go to San Francisco and win that game, and I have New Orleans beating the Vikings, and I have New Orleans beating the Packers in Green Bay, we would have Saints-Seahawks NFC Championship game. Russell Wilson knows how to win in loud stadiums. He would do it once again at the Superdome. I think he would outdo Drew Brees somehow, some way, throw a game-winning touchdown in the final minutes, and the Seahawks would go to the Super Bowl, because I feel like that team is the best team in the NFC. Bobby Wagner led the league in tackles this year. Great comeback story for him, by the way. Amazing. Russell Wilson's doing it with no receivers. He has a rookie, DK Metcalf. He has another receiver. I don't remember who. Marshall Lynch is back, so they got the run game. And really, this is Seattle's conference to lose. Like I said, it was Dallas' division to lose. This is Seattle's conference to lose when it comes to the NFC. And then we switch gears. We'll switch over to the AFC. The best team in the AFC is Kansas City. They have already beaten Baltimore. They've already beaten New England. And after the Patriots beat the Titans this weekend, they're going to go to Kansas City, and they're going to get their A's whooped. And I've said this all season long. Everybody knows this. Everybody else is saying this all season long as well. The Patriots' offense is so lackluster. Tom Brady's having his worst statistical year of his career. He's 31st in every passing category, and it's just really bad. Not the big categories passing yards or whatever, but he's 31st in QBR and rating and whatever the heck. So I think Kansas City, who's already beaten Baltimore and New England, we're probably facing both of the postseason, by the way. Like I just said, the Patriots will go to Kansas City next weekend. get their A's whooped because their offense is that bad and Patrick Mahomes is Patrick Mahomes. And I feel like if the Chiefs win, they go to Baltimore. We've already seen Lamar Jackson in the postseason. We know what he's capable of. Not much. I mean, did you see that playoff game last year? They got their A's whooped by the Chargers. So you see what the Chargers did? They went 5-11. So I think I would definitely, obviously, pick Kansas City over New England, and I would pick Kansas City to get to the Super Bowl over Baltimore. I think it's a very young team yet. Mark Ingram's not going to lead you to the promised land. Lamar Jackson probably won't lead you to the promised land. He's going to win the MVP, but if him and Patrick Mahomes are going up against one another, you bet your sweet bippy I'm taking Patrick Mahomes over Lamar Jackson in the postseason. Absolutely, 100%. I'm taking Lamar Jackson. Patrick Mahomes, in the postseason. No doubt about it. That is really not. All right, so that's that. So I have right now, as of right now, and my opinion will change over the weeks. Right now, I do have the Seahawks and the Chiefs in the Super Bowl. I'm not going to pick a winner because I can't do that right now. Because who knows? One of the Seahawks could lose to the Eagles tomorrow, and I could look like an idiot. But what I can do right now, I can rank all 12 playoff teams according to everything pretty much. Number 12, it's kind of like our instead of SCU Sizzling 7 this week, we're doing like an SCU Terrific 12. And the next week we'll do an Elite 8, Final 4, whatever. Number 12, I'm a hater. It's the Eagles. Again, they did not deserve to win the division. That was Dallas' division to lose, and Dallas lost it. I give the credit to Carson Wentz. I do not give credit to the Eagles. They did not deserve to win the division. And if they get a rematch from that game back around Thanksgiving when the Eagles lost to the Seahawks, same story. Seahawks will win that game. Eagles number 12. Number 11 is Tennessee. Tennessee didn't win their division, but they came real damn close to it. And they have a really good quarterback in Ryan Tannehill. I wouldn't sign Tannehill to a long-term deal. Absolutely not. Franchise tag him next year for Tennessee. And if he throws more than 30 touchdowns, okay, give me a 3-year deal. And then hope for the best there. Just to get him some receivers, great old line. Tennessee at number 11, though, for this year's postseason. Number 10 is Buffalo. Buffalo earned their way to the postseason. They weren't beating New England in any circumstance. They came close both games. Both times they played New England, they came close to beating them. But obviously they weren't winning the division over New England. It wasn't going to happen regardless, even if the Patriots had... Well, if the Patriots had lost to the Bills, and they already lost to the Dolphins, the Bills would have won the division. But, did anybody really expect that to happen? I didn't. I hope you didn't either if you're listening or watching this episode. Bills at number 10. Number 9 is Houston. Wow, because Houston, we've seen what they've done at the wild card game when they host wild card games. The only team they've beaten in this decade, or last decade, I guess you want to say, whatever you go by, the only team they've beaten in the postseason was the Bengals. Beat the Raiders, but that's fine. But the last couple wild cards, they haven't done well. They've lost. Last year, they got their ace whooped by the Colts. Remember that? That was ugly. This year they play Buffalo. I think Buffalo has a good chance, but I am picking Houston to win that game, and that's why they are number 10. Number 9 is New England. Yes, the Patriots are that bad. They're so down there. They're really that bad. They honestly are. If you watch, I've said this all season long. A lot of people said this all season long. Their Patriots offense is so lackluster. It's so bad. They'll beat the Titans this week. That's fine. Give them the win against New England. Against Tennessee, excuse me. But that's it. They're not going to Kansas City, winning Kansas City, especially the way their offense is playing. There's absolutely no way they're going into Kansas City and winning that game. Patriots are number 9. Number 8, oh, Lord. I'm going to get so much hate for this one. San Francisco. I told you, their last 5 or 6 games, they won at the buzzer or lost at the buzzer. You think they're going to be able to face the Seahawks again, in which they barely beat them the second time? They lost them the first time. Both games were very close, obviously. The first game went to the end of overtime, and then the second one was literally less than an inch away from the Seahawks winning the NFC West to get in the 1 seed or whatever seed they would have got, 3 seed or whatever. They were inches away from losing the NFC West title in the final week, despite going 13-3. San Francisco is a one-and-done team. They're not going to win a playoff game this year. It's just not going to happen. San Francisco at number 9. Number 8 is 12, 11, 10, 9, 8. So, Niners number 7. Number 6 is Baltimore. Again, we're going to get hate for this one, ladies and gentlemen. Baltimore, I love Lamar Jackson. I loved Lamar Jackson when he came out of Louisville. I thought he was going to do great things in Louisville. Went to Baltimore, I was like, okay, I don't know what to expect. I probably sit, and he did sit until about week 11. Him for Joe Flacco. He won the MVP this year. But is he good enough to win a playoff game? I mean, they would face probably would face the Texans next week, and I think they could beat Deshaun Watson like they did week 14 or whatever it was. But would they beat Patrick Mahomes if Tom Brady winds up going? I did say they would not win in Kansas City, but let's say hypothetically, New England goes into Kansas City and wins. Are they gonna? Is Lamar Jackson gonna beat Tom Brady in the AFC Championship game? I don't think so. I don't think he can beat either of them. But I do think Patrick Mahomes will outdo Lamar Jackson in the postseason. Get the Chiefs to the Super Bowl. Ravens are number 6. Number 5 is Minnesota. How crazy is these rankings, right? I'm crazy. I picked the 2-1 seeds before the 6 seed, Minnesota. Minnesota's a very talented team. Kirk Cousins, after that very slow start of the season, was first in so many passing categories. Wasn't even funny. And now he's got his team against. By the way, I'm hoping that Dalvin Cook comes back healthy because that'll be a big boost for them against New Orleans. I do think the Saints win, but the Vikings are going to keep it damn close. They're a great team. Vikings at number 5. Number 4 is Green Bay. I don't actually agree with this now. I'm looking at it. I'm like, what have I done? Green Bay is a one-and-done team as well. Aaron Rodgers has lost so many games in the division round. I do feel like if we're really got me going was that last game against Detroit where half of his passes were overthrown. Like they were just really, really bad passes. And I was like, what are you doing, Aaron Rodgers? What are you doing? Like, if he plays like that in the postseason, if Aaron Rodgers plays like that in the postseason, it's a first round exit for Green Bay, who will probably play the Saints. If I'm not, yes, they will play the Saints. And obviously I'm picking Drew Brees over Aaron Rodgers any day, especially with the number 1 receiver in the league, Michael Thomas. Packers at number 4. Number 3 is New Orleans. Yes, New Orleans is that great of a team. They're a wild card team. They won their division. First to win the division, actually. So they're actually one of the better teams in the NFC. I'm picking them and the Seahawks in the NFC Championship game as of right now. Could change, depending on what these Vikings do this week and what happens next week with the Saints going to Green Bay. But I'll pick New Orleans to host the NFC Championship game for the second straight year. And unfortunately, for the second straight year, I do have them losing to Seattle, another NFC West team, I meant to say, in the championship game. So New Orleans number 3. Number 2 is Seattle, best team in the NFC. As I said before, they are the best team. I don't think it's going to be very tough for them. It could be a little tough in San Francisco. I think they'll have a battle against the 49ers once again. I do think that the Seahawks will pull it out, though, because they were able to pull it out the first time. Should have pulled it out the second time. They're, again, just less than an inch away from winning the NFC West, beating the 49ers for a second time. And I think Russell Wilson's the most talented quarterback in that. I mean, maybe in the postseason. I will say that. Russell Wilson may be the most talented quarterback in the postseason. AFC, NFC, it doesn't matter. I think he's more talented than Brady right now, more talented than Lamar Jackson right now, more talented than Mahomes, even though they're both all very talented quarterbacks. Definitely more talented than Breeze and Rodgers. Seattle, number 2. Number 1, Kansas City. They're so easy for them. It's so easy for them. They're on a bye this week. They have the rest, so good for them. They earned that 2 seed. They can thank the Dolphins for that, whatever. They're going to womp New England next week, and I'll talk more about that next week. They're going to womp New England, and then they're gonna find a way. I feel like they're absolutely going to find a way to beat Lamar Jackson, slow him down, maybe cause some turnovers, kind of like the Chargers did last year in the playoffs. I think the Chiefs beat the Ravens in Baltimore, hypothetically, of course, because we don't know what the heck is going to happen next week. We'll see what happens. But I do have Kansas City number 1, my latest rankings for the postseason. And again, I just wanted to go over this. I'm picking the Texans to beat the Bills, the Saints to beat the Vikings, the Seahawks to beat the Eagles, and obviously New England over Tennessee. I don't think Tennessee's ready yet. Next year they might be. Next year they might win the division. Who knows? They'll host the wild card. They'll win the wild card. We'll see. Until next year, though, we'll see what happens. A lot going on. Okay. So, I've been a Cowboys fan for the last 25 years. But for the last 5, I've also been a sportscaster. I wanted to do sports since 2014. I joined my school newspaper. I was like, what's just want to do with my life? Of course, then it was newspaper, and now I'm doing video and audio and broadcasting and podcasting and this and that and the third. And I'm not trying to be Skip Bayless, so obviously it's time. After 25 years, I am officially renouncing Mike Dallas. And I'm only wearing the shirt because my mom bought it for me for Christmas. I do appreciate her for buying me the shirt. I love the shirt. It's a very nice fit. But, ladies and gentlemen, it's over. I am renouncing my Cowboys fandom. I'm no longer a Dallas Cowboys fan. I will talk about the Cowboys, no bias, when it comes to their next head coach. I'm hoping it's Lincoln Riley, but as of right now, I'm no longer a Dallas Cowboys fan. So there's only one person who will always see me as a Dallas Cowboys fan. That's my best friend of over 14 years, Ruben Rios. Ruben, you're gonna be watching, buddy. I know you're watching this. Uh, we'll be me him. He's a Ravens fan, so him and I will be going to the Baltimore game this coming fall when the Ravens host the Cowboys. I will go to that just for him, just because we're best friends over 14 years. All right, that's it, everybody. Thanks for listening. Happy New Year. This has been another great episode of the SCU Show.